All right, start us off. My name is Austin. This is my good buddy Cole. I'm gonna do some singing for you. Cole's gonna play some guitar. The two of us actually grew up together outside of this little town called Morton, Minnesota. I'm from a little township called Beaver Falls, and then you were actually from Morton, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep, right on a gravel road, River Bottom Road.
The River Bottom Road.
Yep, and then we moved up to Duluth. I moved up to Duluth a couple years ago, and you've been here for
It's been like 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's who we are. This next song is called Something Real. Close the bell on an open reel. Shake a hand when you close a deal. Put your time in and don't steal. Find what you love and search for something real. Find yourself when you're on your own. No matter where you go, there's always home. And there ain't much that time can't heal. Find what you love and search for something real. Find a girl that makes you want to stay. Know your worth and when to walk away. But if she's worth the wait, don't hesitate to kneel. Search for something real. Close the bell on an open reel. Shake a hand when you close a deal. Put your time in and don't steal. Find what you love and search for something real. Nice.
What do we got next, buddy?
Up next, we got I think we're doing Saratoga up next, right?
Josie.
So a little story time behind this song. We were doing a gig in Duluth, and we finished up the gig. We're hanging out with everybody, and everybody wanted to keep hanging out. At that point, everything's closed, so we decided to go to a place that a lot of Duluthians are familiar with, called Saratoga. Yep. And when we were at Saratoga, there was a lady on stage, and she looked a lot like one of my exes. So we wrote kind of a funny, wholesome song about it, and it goes like this.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Now with some of my friends, a few drinks in, now it's 1 a.m. Bars are closing tabs and locking doors. We went over to Saratoga, Smirnoff's wore off almost sober. Saw a face on stage I can't ignore. Had a nose ring and a smile like yours, and some black lingerie like the kind you wore on my birthday when I turned 24. Violet looks a lot like you, but she's got a thigh tattoo. The flowers remind me she's not the girl I knew. Yep. Kate and Gabby got extra cash, got $5.99 back on the pull tab, using some of that for a private Violet dance. Cash on the rail and railing my drinking. When I drink, I never fail to think about a girl I met in St. Paul like Johnny Cash. That big river doesn't run down the coast, but that's where she went and where I might go if I get the chance. Violet looks a lot like you, but she's got a thigh tattoo. The flowers remind me she's not the girl I knew. Yep. A lot like you, but she's got a thigh tattoo. The flowers remind me she's not the girl I knew.
Go for it, buddy.
Nice. Thanks, buddy.
What's the next one we got?
This next song is called Creekwater. It's a little bit of a storyline behind this one. Is obviously we grew up in a small town. I moved to the cities when I turned 18, lived there for a little bit, and it's pretty much what the song is about.
It's about growing. And things are still the same.
Yeah.
Back home, but
Creekwater.
and it's about Creekwater. We like water.
We like creeks.
Yeah. We only grew up by them.
Here we go.
Yep.
And I was running from the past. A lot has changed, but I'm still the same. I was living in the greener grass, but I've got creek water in my veins. I once had bright eyes full of skylines, crowds of people on concrete slabs. I met a girl in the city and I left my roots behind. And then I learned neither can love you back. And I was running from the past. A lot has changed, but I'm still the same. I was living in the greener grass, but I've got creek water in my veins. the greener grass. But I've got creek water in my veins. It's kind of funny. Neither of us had guitars when we had our first gig.
That's true.
We had to like drive down to cities for this gig because it was already scheduled. Didn't have a guitar, so we ended up borrowing it from someone else at the event, and that's how I got into the Ovations. So I get a lot of comments on this guitar. That's why.
Yep.
The guitar I borrowed there was Ovation, and I was like, yeah, this thing's pretty sick. Get one of my own.
And then this guitar.
This is actually his guitar. I just stole it and no, I'm just kidding.
Just ran with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this guitar, literally, it was just because we needed something to play with because we had nothing that could record it into a computer. Nothing could plug in. All my guitars had no hardware or anything that I could plug in with. So we're like, well, we need it, and this one was like one of the cheaper ones on the wall, and I played it and it sounded nice. And then the lady showed me the case, and the case is pretty sweet. I'm sold on it. It's if you want to.
Nice cutscene.
Yeah, so it's a beauty, but gets the job done. Here we are. We played a lot of gigs now with it. We played. How many do you think we played now?
I have no idea.
20, 30? I don't know if that's really a lot in comparison to grand scheme of things, but for us, I mean, this is.
Yeah, we're getting started.
We're getting rolling.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah, the train's chugging along.
Yeah. So the next song, I actually wrote a couple days after Cole and Kate's bachelor/bachelorette party.
Good time.
Yep, hanging out with a lot of good people. And there was a girl, one of Kate's friends. She was too drunk. Kind of took care of her a little bit, made sure she was all right, and made a song about it. Half-drunk guys looking up at me, somewhere in between blue and green, looking so kind and honestly, they might be the prettiest I've seen. She drank too much and now she can't see straight. I feel the need to make sure she's safe. She grabbed my arm with the gentlest touch. It didn't mean much, but it felt like love. I swear she lost half the things she owns. She left her boots and even left her phone. I lost my mind in her half-drunk eyes, and then she left and left me alone. All her chaos and scream like laughs makes me want something I can't have. Tomorrow night she'll be on a flight, and it seems like I missed my chance. Half-drunk guys looking up at me, somewhere in between blue and green, looking so kind and honestly, they might be the prettiest I've seen. We got one more song, right?
Yeah, let's see the other one we have.
Oh, we're doing seasons.
Oh, yeah. Are you just going to put your capo on? Because you were half step down, right?
Oh.
Yeah, you can just put your capo on.
Just capo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capos are beautiful. It's a sponsorship. we're not sponsored by any cable company, by the way.
What about Kaiser? Ever heard of them?
I have. I love them.
My old man says, son, just wait. You'll find a good one of these days. You'll find yourself and you'll find your place when there's nothing else to do but pray. But I'm so sick of leaving and changing with the seasons. I just can't break even and I feel so ashamed. And I've been fooled not once, not twice. I got green, brown, and blue eyes on my mind. And I look back at the games I played. I guess karma's gonna find her way. But I'm so sick of leaving and changing with the seasons. I just can't break even and I feel so ashamed. I never needed somebody else to believe in. People come and go and they change like the seasons. I'm getting older and I've done my share of leaving. I'm sick of running without reason.
But he was yelling. I was sick.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite
I was trying
things.
to yell at the ceiling, so I didn't like distort the mic.
But
I
just
hope
yelling.
that doesn't look weird on video.
He's just looking up. He's just praising up above.
It honestly might look super dramatic.
Pointing up to the sky. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things when we play live. I don't know how, but Buddy can yell. Like, yell in key, too. So, like, when we're playing a song, he will step away from the mic and overpower the guitar and the speaker and everything. And, like, especially in smaller settings, of course, but, like, at little bars, and everybody in their seats are, like, some people look a little concerned for a second, but, like, they realize, oh, he's actually just singing. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's...
I've seen a few people
funny.
jump.
Oh, yeah. It scared me before. I know it's coming, and it's just like, Buddy comes in so strong and powerful. It's like I feel like I'm getting yelled at by my dad. It's like, I was like, oh no, I'm sorry.
This next song I wrote about my good buddy here. He bought a house right outside Duluth in the Lakeside neighborhood.
Yep.
And he tore it apart, took some walls down, did a bunch of other stuff that wasn't a lot of fun, and needed help putting it back together. So I moved in for a little bit, helped him work on the house, and wrote a song about it.
His rent was putting up sheetrock
And taking out plaster.
and taking down
Yeah.
plaster, which is
The plaster is much
disclaimer:
worse.
the worst thing you can ever do in your life. Don't ever do it.
Yep. And I got a friend of mine spending all his nickels and dimes and all of his time fixing up a house right outside of the city line. He's been pounding them nails, working like hell all by himself. When a man needs help. If you need beer, I got some to spare. If you need a hand, I've got a pair. We got dirt in our boots, building our roots, so much to do. Fixing up a house right outside of the city line. He's been pounding them nails, working like hell all by ourselves. When a man needs help. And I met a girl up north, now I know what I'm searching for. Trying to find a house right outside of the city line. We've been trying to get by, working long nights, no end in sight. Had to call a friend of mine. If you need a beer, I got some to spare. If you need a hand, I've got a pair. We got dirt in our boots, building our roots, so much to do. Fixing up a house right outside of the city line. We've been pounding them nails, working like hell all by ourselves. When a man needs help. Nice.
Yep. That was fun.
That was a fun
A
one.
lot of one thing that we could talk about is like all the places that we've like written songs and like how they occur, because like a lot of them are in the most random settings. Like I remember he has a song called Gemini. Didn't you write that, like wrote the lyrics in the morning in
Yeah,
your
so
car? Yeah.
I wrote the lyrics for that song on my way to work, and then when I got back home, which I lived with you at the time, you recorded the guitar and we all did just all on one day.
Yeah. And with this album too, the process has been a lot faster. The first album that we made, Northwoods, it was a lot of back and forth to the cities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's your first album, so it's kind of like you're not really sure
That
what's
was a
the
big
most
learning
efficient
curve.
route. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. We had no idea.
I
Like
don't think anybody does.
that's
For
true.
the first album,
Yeah,
anyways.
that's true.
Yeah.
It took so much extra time just because you're not spending time making music. You're spending time learning like what the process is like.
Mm-hmm.
Just the recording process. And even for me, I barely knew how to play guitar. I knew like
true.
2 chords.
Yeah, when Buddy first moved up here, it was a learning curve. I had to
Yeah.
teach him a lot of chords.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, Buddy, you don't know your chords?
No, I don't
But-
know chords.
Yeah.
I failed music theory and I failed choir. The only 2 classes I ever failed
How do you fail
academically
choir?
yet. Ridiculous. I wasn't even bad at school. I was just terrible at choir, terrible at music theory.
Yeah.
Tell you what, now I'm a musician.
It's pretty backwards there, buddy.
It's pretty backwards.
Yeah, and with me, when I started playing guitar completely backwards. Normally, you start with, hey, this is a G chord. Okay, now we're gonna go to the C chord. No, the first thing I ever learned how to play was stuff like,
Nice.
and I don't know why. It's because that's just what I wanted to do. I didn't care about anything. I mean, I didn't even own an acoustic guitar until probably about 5 years in of playing. So I played electric guitar, I played metal.
A lot of Steve Vai.
Steve Vai, if you're familiar, I played a lot of that. Buckethead is another one, if you're familiar. And that was 10-year-old me. I was 10 years old playing that stuff. Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, I could play through the whole song. And I was 13. So I had something going, but then I don't know really what happened with that. I think I kind of hit it almost like a cap, it felt like, where it's like I was doing all these crazy things on the guitar, but what am I doing it for? Like I didn't play in a band. I I had nothing to really play for. And then I decided to join band in high school. Well, then I learned a lot more about music, that there's more to it than just, there's way more to it. And played tuba, picked up drums as well. And after I picked up drums, that's where it really, I was in the drum line. That's where it really kind of clicked for me, I think, because I always was really bad at rhythm. Rhythm was a tough thing for me. And still is to this day. I struggle with a little bit of rhythm, and he has some frustration with it too when we record. I tend to always add an extra beat, or
It's always in 5/4 time.
I always do some weird timing with my guitar solo, and I can see him getting mad in the chair. So,
I don't get mad.
You've gotten upset a few times.
No.
Just get even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I mess up my chords live and make them
just,
improvise.
I mean, hey, it's an even trade then.
Yep.
But yeah, I kind of lost where I was there in that story, but
Yeah. That kind of brings it full circle. We complement each other very well.
yeah.
I don't know a lot of music theory. Definitely can't solo on guitar. A lot of my stuff is very structured.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of free flowing. Just like fun doodles.
Yeah. Yeah, and then with singing, harmonizing, that's kind of our next,
Oh yeah.
what we're really working on is, it's just the two of us, so we have to make it like as entertaining as possible. And, just doing the same thing over and over, playing and, just him singing. I feel like you got to add some more elements to it. And, I usually don't even have to look at my guitar half the time when I play, so I can really focus on doing,
Now we gotta get you singing.
I know, and yeah, we're still kind of working on it, but it's one of those things, it just takes time. You got to really every week work on it. Because if you don't, it's just never going to be quite there. And you can feel it when you play live.
As far as harmonies? Or just singing in general?
A little bit of both. I mean, for me, singing is relatively new. I've always just been on the instrumentation side of things. And I'm excited to get more into it and be able to, do full covers by myself or even with you, harmonizing with some songs. But
Yep.
we're still kind of in that transitional phase. And maybe next time we'll do another one of these. And I'll be up here singing.
That'd be sweet.
That would be pretty sweet. So this was me for a lot of my life, from 7th grade until I was 21. And now we sharpened up a little bit, but the afro was the personality that's what people know me as. I was Afro Cole in high school, and even Buddy, I mean, we used to make rap songs back in the day, way back in the day.
You had to bring the rap songs.
I had to bring it in. Yep. That's what we started. I mean, that's literally what we started, making rap songs. I feel like every kid does that because it's just kind of it's what you do.
What time it made sense for me? I didn't know how to play piano or play guitar, and I was like, well,
No,
we make some
use
sick
your voice
beats,
and sing.
dude.
And that's the thing, is that really helped, because lyrics and everything, all these songs that we have for this album, especially the Seasons. Sorry, that got me. They're all very personal, and they're real. And I think that's one thing that really helps with this whole album and playing live, is people can really tell that these are real songs that are about things that are involved in our lives, whether loosely or directly, Josie song type thing. So, yeah.
It's definitely a goal of mine to be as wholesome as possible with this one.
Yeah. Where can they find us?
They can find the music on, if you go to austincastlemusic.com, that'll bring you wherever you need to go. Find us on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you stream your streams.
Do you have a Facebook presence, or where can we find you?
We do have a Facebook page too. Yep. It's Austin Castle Music. I think everything's just probably best to go to the website. Go to the austincastlemusic.com, and then whatever platform you use, it'll direct you where you need to go.
Yeah, so I do have my own music. I only have one song right now on Spotify. That will change in the future though. So Cole Mikel Music is what it is. So on Spotify, Cole Mikel. I don't have a website yet. I will.
How do you spell Michael?
Mikel. It's different. It's like Mike, but with L at the end. So, it's a little different way. That is my actual middle name, Michael, Mike L. So, but yeah, it's on just on Spotify. And what else do we have me on? Is it on like
It's
Amazon?
it's on all the platforms.
Okay.
It's pretty much Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play,
Yeah.
wherever you want to go.
So yeah, I've got just one song out, but keep an eye on it because I'll have some more popping up in the future. So
So you're doing thank you for listening to Two Harbors Community Radio.
No, we're not gonna do it like that.
1, 2. Thank you for listening to Two Harbors Community Radio. Why did you start laughing?
because I had to look down to read it quick.